Hello there, everybody. We're going to talk about 5 things you should never ever do when buying a home. So don't go far away. Hey, welcome back here. I'm so glad you decided to join us today. This is Michael Cosman with Keller Williams in Rochester. The Realtor truly cares. And we're going to talk about 5 things that you should never ever do when buying a home. That's right. There's probably many more, but I'm going to try and hit the top 5 when you decide to go ahead and buy a home, which, quite frankly, it can be terrifying buying a home. But it can be exhilarating and terrifying at the same time, kind of like a roller coaster. Sometimes it can be like a roller coaster, but it shouldn't have to be. So let's go through these things, and I think if you listen to this, the process will go much more smoothly for you, and you'll be better prepped. So, point number 1, buying a home without a professional agent. I strongly recommend against it. Do people do it? Yes, but that's like driving a car for the first time without insurance. Can you do it? Yes. Can you look at how to do it online? Yes. Can you do it well? Maybe, maybe not. So to have proper protection, to have a professional guiding you through the process, to avoid potential pitfalls and educating you, and to represent you in your best interest. Point number 1, go forward with buying a home with a professional agent. Point number 2, before you start even looking, shopping and going out and taking the time to go through homes, if you're serious, if you get to that point where you're serious, then you have to get fully approved by a qualified lender. It's like going to the mall without having any money. Yeah, everything looks great, but you really can't move forward and purchase a home without getting fully approved. So I recommend going out and getting 3 different quotes, 3 different lenders, qualified lenders. Do your research, or I work with also a qualified mortgage intermediary, a mortgage broker, who can find you the best rates, the best programs, everything suited for your financial needs. So to get that pre-qualification. But make a list of your needs and your wants. I go through this in my buyer consult with all my clients, and I say, okay, what is it you really want and what is it you need? And so, because in a perfect world, we could all get the dream home that we wanted to. We had unlimited funds and unlimited resources, but we don't live in a perfect world, so we have to scale back and compromise on some things. So to go through a qualified buyer consultation and go through your list of needs and kind of scale down exactly what you're looking for is helpful for the process to make it more smoothly. Put some thought into it. Point number 4 then, the closing costs. Have your money set aside. And so I'm going to talk about in another future video how much money and break down your closing costs, but generally 2 to 7% of the sale price of the home is a good range to make sure your closing costs cover that once you go into purchasing a home. You know, that's if you're not buying it with cash, which you might be, but most people generally need financing. So we'll do another video down the road. We'll talk more about closing costs, but make sure that you have those funds necessary to set aside, so that way when you do go through the process, you're good and you know exactly how much money is coming out of your pocket. And finally, once you do find that perfect home and your agent's guided you through the process, and you put an offer on it and your offer gets accepted, and then the last thing you can't do is make sure you don't mess that up by because it goes in the underwriting process. Make sure you don't make any large purchases. You might be excited, you want to buy some furniture or do something with your credit cards. Just lay low with your finances for that period of time. Otherwise, it could jeopardize your financing and maybe get your loan application denied. So which you don't want to do that. So that's from contract to closing, you want to make sure that's you don't make any, pull your credit, no large purchases, don't max out your credit cards, none of that. Listen to your lender. Put God first in your decision to do this. I'm sure, like you, it's a huge decision financially, so pray about it and And if you feel like God is saying go forward and you need to go forward for you and your family, then go forward. But make sure in all this, and I like to pray with people when I go through this process with them as well. So the scripture says in Proverbs 16:3, commit your plans unto God, and then He will make sure that your plans succeed. And we want your plans to succeed here. So again, 5 things you should never do when buying a home here in the Rochester, Michigan area. So I hope you found this video helpful, and please, we do these every week, and if you like what you see and if you find it educational, the value, like it, subscribe, hit the notification. So we put these out every Friday, and so I'll look forward to seeing you next week. This is Michael Cosman with Keller Williams.